the intro.
That'd be sick. Be tahini on the beat.
Okay. Do you want to start it?
Yeah. Boom, boom. Do you got New Year goals? I do.
Yeah, bro. New Year's goals.
Let's start.
What is today? What is it? December
The 27th. So you better fucking come up with your New Year's goals now.
That's what it is. I feel like people usually come up with New Year's goals. Most of the time, they kind of suck, though. To be honest.
Mine always do. I never fucking accomplish them. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. We got Cutty Convos. We're here with Adam and Aaron.
Gang.
On Escape Media. So today we're going to talk about New Year's goals. Obviously, everyone wants to talk about New Year's goals, end of the year. Sometimes I believe they can kind of be BS. But it depends on who you are as a person and do you stick with your goals, and are your goals realistic for you in a way where you can actually accomplish them. And I know that's kind of fucked up to say, but it's like, yeah, you got to be realistic in a certain point of what you're trying to do, right?
Just do baby steps. That's all. You don't have to be fucked up by saying it. It's like, sure, you have a big goal, but you could just move towards it really slowly, little inches, you know.
What was your New Year's goals from last year or this year? Like when you came up
when I started, it was to release Rebel U, which I did. So I did that.
You accomplished that? Okay.
Yeah, I still feel like I haven't finished it, but I did a lot with that. It was to go to the gym like everyone else. I wanted to work out more. I did it for a minute. Started crapping out. I just got really busy and I was not finding the right time for it. Want to try it again this year. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Make more clothes, which I did pretty much. I set pretty easy goals. I don't try and be oh, I have to go to the gym every day. It'll be I have to go more. So it's I went a little bit more. I went 3 days out the week.
I remember one time I had the gym membership, me and my girlfriend, and I remember at the end of the year, you could check how much you went, and I went 4 times.
Damn.
And I was like, damn, I paid for a whole year of the gym, and I went 4 times.
Yeah, that's just a waste of money. No, this.
I was like, yeah. I put in my head, I was like, no, for sure I went a lot. And I realized, no, I didn't go at all.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Did you have anything else besides that? Or do you usually set anything else?
Oh, for me, for this year, yeah. I don't even remember what my goals were last year. I don't really set goals. I think my problem is that, if I set goals too much, too high, I will never try to do them because I always overthink it or just not want to. I don't like failing, so I don't.
I think that's everyone's biggest problem because somebody will be like, "Oh, my goal is to get a 6-pack this year." I'm like, "Well, that's really tough. Maybe you could just, lose, I don't know, not even lose, but work on, your upper body strength, your core strength, or what. I don't know. I'm just saying people definitely shoot for the stars.
I want to get rid of my fupa this year.
Me too. I got a fupa this year.
Got a little fupa? Yeah. They're in. I heard they're in right now.
No, I don't like it.
I don't know. I think I think I want, obviously the working out thing. Every year I always try to. That's the only thing I ever do is my birthday's in April, at the end of April, so I always want to try to be in shape for my birthday. So when I take pictures for my birthday, I always want to look like I'm in shape.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I just feast all summer.
Yeah.
But
that sounds nice.
I don't know. That's the only kind of goal. But this year, I'm trying to do something different and actually put things down and see if I can accomplish something that I set to do. A couple of them just I want to get more into photography and be able to do more photo shoots and print out more work and put it together in a book and stuff like that. I don't really care about posting stuff to social media. For me, I do it because for me, I want to do it for myself, memories, and collect it and put it together.
Yeah.
It's I have this, for myself, so I can look over back of the memories. And then another thing is I want to take video editing a little bit more serious. I feel like I haven't been taking it that serious, and I just dabble in it here and there, and I just know the kind of the basics on what to do, but I haven't really fully plunged into it and done some serious work and learn to actually edit Whereas right now, I know how to cut video and put things together here and there, but I really don't know how to do like high end stuff. You know, like where you're having like transitions here and there, having a lot of B-roll. You're having fonts. You're picking out like curating fonts and be able to tell a story with your edit. And I don't think I'm there yet. Like I'm definitely not there yet. But I want to get to that point where I could tell a story through my edit in a way where people are like down with that. I see other people and they inspire me, but like I know it takes practice and time, and I feel like I haven't really dove into it because I'm fucking lazy.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like,
I'm kind of feeling that way too. You want to get like better like VFX and stuff like that, like little transitions and.
Well, yeah, like the transition stuff, but just what I really want to do is just learn how to tell a story.
Okay.
Like through the video. Like I really want, through my edit, I want to learn how to tell a story. Whether that be through transitions, whether through B-roll, and learning how to just put everything together, learning how to shoot right, like learning how to get your A-roll right, learning how to get your B-roll right, learning how to have quality audio, learning how to tell the story that I see. Because sometimes I see something and then when I record it, it's not the same.
Yeah.
In my head, it looks really cool, but like when I get it down, I'm like, well, what was I trying to do at this point?
Yeah.
So
I've definitely been there 100 times, so I get what you mean when you say that.
There's a lot of that, and so those are the main things I want to do. And then also, I want to travel to like 2 places next year.
Any
that
plans?
I haven't been to before.
Oh,
so
okay.
Usually, me and my girlfriend try to go like at least 1 place a year that we've never been to. So this time we're trying to do 2. Well, that's my idea. I want to do 2. So,
do you have any plans on where it would be?
We want to go to Tokyo because our friend's in Tokyo. She lives there. She's teaching English. I don't know how much longer she's gonna be there. I think she's there for another year. So, we want to go visit her in Tokyo. So that'll be a good accomplishment. And I also want to go to Mexico City. Or the
Never been to Mexico City?
I've never been to Mexico. You been?
I think I've been to Mexico City before. Yeah.
I've never
been. As a child, though.
Those are the places I do want to visit, and then I also want to create more stuff, like venture out, make more video, YouTube stuff, and shit like that. So I have kind of like a mindset of like what I want to do, but it's just putting it down and actually following through with it is a tough part.
Yeah.
Because life gets in the way. I understand, but also, if you don't have a plan to do it, you're never going to do it.
Yeah, that's true. The biggest thing I say is like consistency for sure. Because like as much as like you accomplish like, 1 or 2 things and you're feeling really good about it, like you can't just feel really good at it and then be done about it. Like you kind of have to like keep working on that to make it even better and better and better and better. So there's a lot of uncomfortability in that for sure.
You accomplished a lot this year with your own creativity and stuff. I see that you've been doing a lot of stuff, so it's like
it was fun. But yeah, again, like all that was like for sure like working on it. Like at the beginning of this year, I mean, think about it, I had to edit a video every day for like a new artist. So like I wasn't very good when I started editing. At the end of those edits, I'm really good. Now I do edits with like my logo on it, and I can like get the whole fade in, fade out. I can like add in transitions. Like I couldn't really do that before. Captions, like I don't know. These are all things that like I learned by just like staying like creatively consistent. So I mean, don't get me wrong. There's points where you don't want to do it, but like it's kind of like, would you rather do what you're doing, I don't know, a 9 to 5 right now, or do you want to like get out of that and finally get like your little chance? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So take the chance. That's all.
I would love for like the year coming up of like getting an actual paying job in something creative.
Me too. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm there to get to that point to try to make that a reality, but I'm also getting sucked back into thinking about getting a 9 to 5 again because I miss those benefits. I really do.
Yeah. No, I get you.
But it's like
things are happening though that I feel like are reaffirming for you. Are they not? Like recently, I saw this. You didn't say anything to me, but like those people, the Art of the Bay podcasts. Those are your friends. I don't know.
I don't know the person. He just reached out to me, but he wanted to link up this next year to do stuff. But that was cool, man. That was a really blessing to see.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, that's super cool. Like, and that's like, I'm not saying that that's like the only thing that's happened this year, but like little things are, slowly chugging along. I feel like more more people are like, I mean, at least it's not like I was super tapped into your fan base before, but like, I feel like I see a lot of people that I know or like barely know are like, yo, like I've started watching your guys' podcast, and I'm like, cool, thanks.
No, I do see what I do like about the way we've merged and stuff. Is like I like like the way you market it, stuff, and the way you put out like short form content, and the way you get engagement on it.
Yeah,
It's pretty sick to see, because it's like you see there's potential there to like keep growing and to keep going, and people like it.
Yeah.
And I never was able to push myself that way because I felt like I didn't have that type of quality.
Yeah.
Because I was always interviewing other people, and I never had a time to like sit and talk by myself or talk with someone.
Yeah.
So that's why having someone like permanently on, keep going.
you go
like
back and forth. Yeah,
You have a real consistency behind it, and you can actually put out stuff. And I think that goes a long way of like establishing what you're trying to do. Because for a while I was like grasping at like concepts of trying to figure out what I really wanted to do, and I was all over the place. And I do like being all over the place sometimes, because I like I don't like putting myself like creatively in a box. I want to be able to move around and do different things. For a while with my buddy, we did like craft beer stuff, and I still want to make videos and do things like that. And stuff.
That'd be fun.
Like that shit. Like I do that shit with my buddy. We went to one of the funnest things I did this year was we went to a craft beer festival in Roanoke Park, or next to Santa Rosa, and it's like you paid. I forgot how much it was, but you get like unlimited.
You get unlimited beer after you pay it. Wow.
So you had a wristband.
That's dangerous.
And there was a shitload of breweries.
Shit faced.
We were there for like 3 hours, and by the time because we recorded the entire thing. We started off like when I did the edit, I watched the video. And I was like, we started off like, by the end, we're like slurring.
You're like, guys.
We were slurring everything. We're just like,
I'm just gonna,
Like we had that look to us.
Yeah.
And then it was a really good time, because then afterwards we went to like an after party at a bar for like a couple of like the local breweries out here that were there.
That's cool.
And that was fun as shit.
That's like one of those things where it's like, I feel like you could incorporate that very easily with like your friend and be like, yo, let's meet up once a month and we'll just fucking get a couple. I'd be down to record it or help you like vlog it or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little things. It's not like, you need to like do a bunch of stuff, but like, scatterbrain a few things and then figure out what you can reel in real quick.
That's the hardest part for me, is like when you're creating stuff, it's like I always was like, I can't do it because I need to have this, and that, and then I realized
you don't really.
You really don't. Like,
I get what you're saying 100%.
I have a big issue with that, because what I was trying to do for Christmas was like record a little bit so I could have the memories of it. But when I got there, I was like, I'm busy taking pictures, I'm doing this, and I realized all I needed to do was like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because then I could have put something together. It wasn't for me. I wasn't doing it to like post. I just wanted to keep it as memories. But like, I just didn't pull out my like
your camera.
My little camera. Like I have like this like little camera that I use like for vlogging
with your phone though, these days, and like edit something together.
I should have done it, but I don't know. I was just like that creative block was there, and it was like, no, don't do it. Like don't. I was like doing all kinds of different things, and then I realized I was like, I regretted it because.
You regret it? You feel that bad about it?
Because it's family memories, it's like I have a lot of family that are really like that elderly now and that are sick. So I'm just like, what if we don't get this opportunity again? Mm-hmm. And so then I started feeling that like guilt of like not doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so that's what I hate, is like when you feel guilty for not going out
for
and
executing
because you feel like stuck because of your own bullshit.
Yeah. I agree. That's just gonna happen sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be moments where that like sucks, and you're gonna have to be like, either you couldn't do it, you didn't want to do it, you couldn't properly execute, or you feel like everything was wrong.
Did you have any like any regrets or anything or guilt about like not accomplish certain things this year?
Yeah, 100%, all the time. I still feel guilty about it, and it's like that's what I'm saying as well. I get what you're saying, and I totally understand, and I'm still dealing with this, but you kind of have to look at it like glass half full. Like, I'm not saying you have to, but like that's the only way you're going to be happy about the outcome. You know what I mean? Because you still did a lot of things There are things to be happy about. Sure, things didn't go the right way in certain cases, or there's some places where you choked up where you shouldn't have, or some places, just where things didn't go right. But that's going to happen. You're going to learn from it. The only way that you're going to go forward and be better at it next time is if you look at it and you say, man, I fucked up. And that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's
no,
all.
definitely. Because I definitely fucked up.
Yeah.
Of not putting myself there. Like I've been sitting on. Like I said, the problem is like I'll do the whole recording and everything, and I get all this stuff, and then I'll sit on it and won't
go anywhere.
I can't.
That's the toughest.
I can't like sit down to take my time to edit. When I do have time to do it, I just won't do it. Like
you're stuck doing something else. Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate that. That's one of the biggest parts that I want to like get over is actually just do the work and show your work.
Yeah, that is the toughest part.
There was a really good book that I read. It's called Show Your Work, and it was this guy that has Daring Creative. He recommended me that like book is like Show Your Work, and he was doing his thing of like it's supposed to be where when you create stuff you got to show it, so it makes you more accountable.
100%
so you keep on creating and you put it out there. Mm-hmm. And the hardest thing for people that create stuff is putting the work out there because you want to be vulnerable. What if it sucks? What if you don't get reception to it? What if you only get like 20 views, or what if you get like 5 likes or something like that, where it feels like you put you actually created something and it's not well received, and you feel like, all right, why am I going to do that? But you need to do that in order for you to grow and stuff. And that's hard for me to actually to be in that position. And it's not always about likes and views and all that stuff. It definitely isn't. But it's a mindset of like being able to publish your own work.
Yeah. I think people get stuck in that all the time. I remember we talked about it with Taheen and Cam, and it's like there are people who kind of almost brag about like how much stuff that they have, like that they don't show you. They're like, oh, I have all this stuff in the vault, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, who the fuck cares except you? Because you're the only person who gets to hear it, see it, or like experience it. And that's such a big problem to me personally. Like, I don't really, of course, do whatever you want with your work. Like, that's obviously all up to you. But when you want to be like, you want to make money off of this, or you want to like, monetize, whatever, be known as like this kind of artist or this type of worker, and you don't show anyone, then who the hell is gonna know? Who's gonna hire you? Who's gonna, make your dreams come true?
And as you just hit on the point, LaRussell just posted that, what is he on his like 23rd album?
Yeah, of the year or something like that.
Something crazy, like he was just...
He's ridiculous. The thing, he just posts like an album like every other like month, or like twice a month.
And he just hitting it. Like there's people like that are like, how do you have the not the capability, how do you have the space to do it in the way where, like, what I mean, like mental space, because we all get burned out. Like, how does he not get burned out and have the capability to keep that drive to keep going and going?
The thing that I think is different though is like, so this is a thing with, at least like from what I experience from like rappers or like musicians kind of thing, is that they usually do have a lot of stuff on hand that they just don't do anything with, and they're like, well, I'll release it when this is right, or when this is right, or this is right, or this is right. LaRussell, the thing that makes him better is that he'll make an album, and maybe the album won't even be that great, but he'll make the live version like sound so much more fun, so much more energetic. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the right way to do it, but I look at him, he's like a pretty big artist at this point in time. In terms of like Bay, he's probably still a very small artist, like nationwide, like around the world / whatever. But like in California, he's probably a bigger name, and he drops albums all the time. I think he just drops whatever he makes. I don't think he really lets a lot stay in the vault. And I think that's kind of how you should be, because it's like, it's not going to matter until like the big record label sees you and wants to sign you, or until you get that one song that blows up so hard that it has fucking 30 million views on the 3rd day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I feel like none of that the dropping stuff doesn't matter that much, as long as you tell people a couple days before it happens, the day it happens, and then, as long as you keep like, advertising afterwards, showing that you're still around in people's faces, you're outdoors, you're doing whatever the fuck you need to do, like, people are gonna fuck with you.
Well, that's like the Tyler Creator video that always goes around that people always put like as the background audio over their video of like him talking to someone. I forget who he's talking to, but he's asking them like, how come you're not creating or doing this? And they're
he goes, I'm still promoting my album from like, I be getting in people's faces about that video. I love that video.
It's hella funny because he's just like real about it. And then the guest that he's talking to, or the person, I don't know if it's an interview, whatever it is, and they're like, she was like, how come you're not doing it? She was like, I don't know. I'm scared. And he was like, well, then that's it. Like,
exactly.
Do it. Like, go out there and do it. What do you...
That's the thing. I feel like people get...
mental block
I feel like people get really comfortable, though, and that's the thing. Like, I know a couple people this year who, like, they did some stuff that they, accomplished things. I'm not saying they didn't accomplish anything, but they accomplished a few things and then expected all of that work that they did to prove them into the new year. They probably started something in January and then, maybe finished up doing things in March or April, and then they let the year fizzle out. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you can't expect like all this work to have been done for you doing all this work. Like the work you do is only good for today. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like this clip that we're gonna take or whatever from some point in this podcast, it's gonna be good for one day, and then people will talk about it for that day, or maybe the day after if they see it in their feed. But it's gone after that.
And it's on to the next.
So it's like you can't just be accomplished with this one thing. That's why like I was kind of happy when like you, me, and Taheen, Cam, and everyone has been saying like they make something and they feel a little dissatisfied with it, because then it makes you want to be like, well, I could do better, or even if you like it.
I never feel like super satisfied with my work.
Me neither.
I never felt like, oh, this is it, blah, blah, blah. Like I've always been like, it's okay. Like I'm always surprised when someone likes something and I'm just like, it makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like, I have a hard time with people congratulating me,
Yeah.
I'm really uneasy with it, and I think it's maybe a childhood trauma. But
it's definitely a defense mechanism, that's for sure.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But I understand that I love fucking congratulate, but I'm like, it's so weird because I love telling people, I love giving them the flowers and telling them they're doing good, because it's like, it's important to tell others like, hey, you're doing really good stuff. Like and it's good to tell, it's also good to talk to people when you don't like something and you're just like, hey, I didn't like, this or that, whatever, but in an appropriate way.
Because, don't be just shitting on people.
Yeah, don't be fucking a dick.
You should just be like, I think maybe this could have been done.
Yeah, and I think there's a time and place for it. Maybe not to like, you can do it to strangers, but it's mostly reserved for people that you're
comfortable with.
Yeah, that knows that when you're coming, it's not coming from a hating point of view. That it's coming from like respect, and it's coming from like, hey, this is what I think that could improve, that you can improve on, with like if you tried it this way, like just trying to give people help because you see that they could do better, and then but you have to be welcoming it as well too. Like
you have to be able to take the criticism as much as,
If you want to criticize, you got to be able to take it. Because if you can't take it, then you shouldn't be criticizing.
But also, that's why you should do it in as nice ways. Nice ways. You don't want to shit on someone because then they're just going to shit on you.
Because I'm a hater. Like, I do hate on shit. Like, I do hate. But I'm not going to hate to your face. But I'll be hating about some stuff sometimes. Like, you know what? For the longest time, I fucking hate, like, what's really made me mad is, like, everyone has started a podcast.
Yeah.
And it was like just bullshit stuff, and it's like not real, like it's just talking about the stupidest shit of like it would just
You don't think we talk about stupid shit?
Yeah, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're doing it not for themselves. Like
they're doing it for like kind of like a clout thing.
They want to get in the reaction. That's like their thing.
Oh, I kind of get what you mean. People who just say like horrible shit all the time.
Horrible shit.
Yeah, they're just very disrespectful like the entire time.
And they're playing a character.
Yeah.
Those are
I
the ones
get
I
those
hate.
people.
When people are having a conversation and talking about stupid shit, like it's funny. Like I don't care. Like have your thing. But when people are just pretending to be something they're not,
they're like, you know what grinds my gears?
Like
they're like people with arms and legs. How dare they exist?
Some stupid shit like that. That's what fucking like. That's the shit that annoys the shit out of me. Or like what annoys the shit out of me now, which I'm a big hater on. there's a lot of like these people that are like food vloggers.
The
That's like,
foodies.
and I see them all the time. They're all over like
That's a big one.
Instagram and
That's
the
a
reels and
huge one.
TikToks, and they're talking about like
There's some that are great, some that are horrible.
there's some really good ones. I do
Yeah.
fuck with the good portion of it, but there's some of them that I'm just like,
Shut up. Yeah,
you
you're
even
like,
enjoy
stop.
this shit? Like, yeah, like they're like, this is the blah, 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 top 3, like, and they're, I'm like, dude, that shit's fucking trash. Like,
Yeah.
that's not like, if you're from here, like, especially if you're like lived here for a while and, or if you're actually from the Bay Area and there are people like that are doing it and you can just tell right away, they're like, oh, they're not from here. They're just,
Yeah.
they're just
Like, this food, it slaps.
that's a shit, but that's me being a hater, and I gotta realize, like, let people.
Sometimes let them do what they want.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what my opinion
I get
is?
that too.
Who cares what I say? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a nobody. Like, no, who cares?
You know what's funny is
Go out there, do your thing.
I don't know if I told you this, but like it was I went to Jay Oceano Puddles.
Yeah,
he had a pop-up at DP.
He always does it there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to go see him, and we went to go talk and chop it up for a little bit. And this guy that I met at a Hunting on 3rd was there, and he was just a new face that I haven't seen very often. But he was like, "Yo, what's up? Like, I saw the podcast that you guys are doing. Like, it's really cool. I just want you to know, like, not trying to step on your toes, but like, I'm trying to start a podcast." And then like he was like, "I don't want you to think I'm like copying you." And I was like, how the fuck would you be copying me? Like, there's like 6 million podcasts in the world. Like, it's not like, I don't know, like, not to be weird, but like,
Yeah.
it's not like this is like my main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if someone started a podcast, because me congratulate, like, I don't know.
I would be like, something would be weird to be like, I'm starting a podcast with your co-host.
Yeah. They're like, hey. I mean, yeah, they didn't tell you. They're like, guess what?
I'm
You're
doing
like, damn,
another-
am I fired?
I'm doing
Like,
another one.
that would be kind of weird. But it was so funny.
No, I get it though. I think people don't want to feel like they are copying other people, creatively. But you gotta understand that.
He said it in a like really respectful way. I'm not trying to shit on this dude or anything.
No, like I get where that individual is coming from because I feel like sometimes people feel entitled to their like. They don't want no one coming into their space, even though everyone does it. So, like, if someone does, like, photography and you're doing all this stuff, and then some other person that does photography, they feel some type of way because they feel like...
You're stepping on my toes.
Yeah, like, these...
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, though.
I feel like people got to express themselves in different ways. And if you make it... Like, if you're ripping someone off, like...
If you're,
word for
yeah,
word,
if you're, yeah,
and if someone makes someone makes there's hella people make clothing, but if someone goes and they just start making rebel clothing and they're just copying your color wave and copying everything about it, your design, your logo,
bad. Yeah,
they're ripping you right off. But if someone's making it in a way where they're like, oh shit,
that's
like,
funny. You know,
they actually.
I've like ran into other rebel brands, and we're always really friendly, and I don't think I've never hated any of them, but it's because they make very different stuff from what I make. So it's like cool. I'm like, oh, you're also doing Rebel something? Like, that's cool. Like, you're making it 100 times different than I'm doing it.
What is it? Is it like streetwear or is it like...
Yeah, it'll still be streetwear, but it'll be like more like punky or like sometimes they make like generic-y like Forever 21 kind of stuff or...
I would just imagine someone that does like Rebel like stuff would be like someone that like drinks Mountain Dew and living up in the the mountains.
Sometimes I feel like it would be a little like that too. I've definitely seen a couple racist ones where I'm like, you guys suck.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, there's definitely been a few Confederate flag ones I've seen. I'm like, Jesus. But see, that's not what I do.
You gotta do it, but you gotta do it upside down.
How the fuck is it upside? Okay.
You see when he put out his like fucking breath?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's just a fucking swastika. And he was just like, nah.
No, it's different. Yeah.
I was like, oh.
So stupid. Fuck, where was I going with that though?
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on that.
No, it's okay.
But like when he came out saying like, hey, I don't want to step on your toes.
Oh, yeah. There's so much space for all of us. Like, as long as you're not ripping bar for bar, like what someone's doing, it's fine. If anything, I feel like more grateful because it's like, I don't know, there's so many strangers doing what we do too, right? Like, I would rather see my friend do something. Whoosh. What were we saying right before we left off, just so I remember? We were saying As long as you're not,
you're not ripping people off.
yeah, just as long as you're not ripping people off bar for bar, everything's fine. Yeah, I'd rather see again my friend do something and end up being exponentially better at me than something than a random stranger. You know what I mean?
sure.
I'm gonna root along the whole way. Like,
Have you ever seen someone like rip off your design or your clothing way or your color wave like on a certain? I understand like everyone does like color wave would be hard, but like color wave in a way when you're dropping at the same time.
not really, no. The only thing that's kind of happened is this year, I feel like I just predicted a colorway that got really popular, but it's just because it's been recycled around, you know what I mean? Like, it was popular like in like, what, 6 or '05, so like I saw it, I was like, this is a great colorway. It's the pink and the brown, that's all I did. So like that got really popular and it got used by hell of people this year before, like right as I did it, you know what I mean? So I was like, I got it first. That's how. It wasn't like I thought people were stealing from me at all, though. They just saw that the colorway also worked. No one's ever ripped off my design. If anything, I'm ripping off people's design. No, I'm just playing. But everything I get from like cartoons and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm doing anything super original with my like logos or stuff like that. I just see what I like and I put it together, you know what I mean?
I do what you gotta do.
That's what I'm saying is like that's why I feel like no one's ever really stepping on toes because there's so much stuff that's like not an original idea. You just pick what you like and you put things together you think work together.
See what works for you and what doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I mean, yeah, like you have a specific style yourself. Like, I'm not gonna make like like an Ed Hardy tee. You know what I mean? That's not really my kind of style.
You guys had an event last Thursday.
Yeah, we did have an event.
How did it go?
Last Thursday. It was really cool. It was amazing. We sold that bitch out.
What was it called again?
The Next Big Thing 4. It was a talent show. We had 9 contestants. We actually had 2 winners, which was crazy. I didn't think that was going to happen. But so this artist, Maya Bay, won for $10K. She's really talented. She was really great. I can't wait to work with her. And Maxell, who's a younger cat. I'm not sure where he's even from, but he's like 17 or something, and he was super talented. When I first heard him, I was thinking like all the songs he had were like super, just like Barry Hyphy songs. So I was like, I don't really think this guy can make it, because it's like he just sounds like a lot of other artists. He's ripping a lot of songs from other artists and using them. But then I saw his performance and he had like a whole dance routine with like a bunch of dancers. He had crazy choreography. I was like, okay, this kid's a star. Like,
you can tell right away. Like,
yeah, it's like I instantly was like, I was completely wrong. Let me shut the fuck up. It was crazy to see. But yeah, it was really cool. There was a lot of heads in the building. There was Fabi in the building. Selsky. Rich was obviously in the building. 24K Golden. I got to meet 24K Golden. It was pretty cool. We had a nice little conversation.
What's up?
He seemed like a really nice kid. Who else? I mean, Jay Valentine. It was really busy the whole time. I was just kind of taking photographs of everything. I got a lot of cool backdrop little photos of people. I met a lot of people. It was a fun time. It was a lot of fun. Stayed out way too late though. Got home at like maybe 2 a.m, so that sucked.
Because you had to work the next day?
Yeah, I had to work the next day, and I had to wake up at 5 a.m, so I did not really get any sleep. It was not great. But it was all fun, and I would have done it again, It was definitely one of the most fun I've ever had an event.
The event went all the way to 2?
No, it probably ended at like 1, but we had to start like helping close things up, and then like I was helping for a little bit, but then I was like, my ride's here, can I please go? And they were like, yeah, please just go. And I was like, thank you.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. So Maya Bay won 10K and Maxell won 75. I'm not really sure what our plan is. We haven't really talked about anything with them. But I've been crafty, so I've been like talking to them and trying to set up like stuff so that like I can like set things up like not just for them in the future with like singles or cover art or whatever they need, but also like, get them in my brand, figure out what we can make, I think that'd be fun to work together on some stuff. That's
called being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, entrepreneur. That's my New Year's goal. Definitely just talk to way more people.
Are you antisocial?
I'm super antisocial. I have like a really bad battery. You know what I mean?
Like once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, I can fake it for a little bit, but like as soon as it's out, I'm like, I need to go home. I don't want to be here. It's really bad. I don't like it. You're like that too, kind of though, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I want to peace, when I peace, I'm peacing. Like I'm really cool. Like I like being around people, but there's a certain point where I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah, just
like
goes
when I don't
down.
want to, I don't want to. My girlfriend's really like anti. Like she's very like introverted. I'm an extroverted person, but I also can be introverted at times. But she's very just like introverted. So like when she's done, like, or she really doesn't like being around a lot of people. So when she doesn't want to, she won't do it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, like I want to be in these situations. I like being around people and doing stuff. But like once I'm done, like I'm done.
It's out. No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt when I was at that event. And it was like annoying too, because you have to go through those motions. Have you ever worked in an event before where you have to do like photography or something like that?
No, I've never done a big event before.
Okay, so like it's just a repeated behavior you have to do every time, especially when they put you in one place. Because then it just turns into, hi, do you want to take a picture? It's free. And then, you get the yes or the no, and you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, ding. And then you're like, is that good? And then, you have to go back and forth like 100 times doing that.
I saw someone on Instagram. I follow them. I don't know their names because it's like LMXP or something.
Lumped. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So like he had photos from the event too, but he was taking pictures of like people's shoes and stuff. Like it was pretty cool the way he
does it is a lot more fun. I like him. He just goes around at parties and it's just like picture, and then like he'll just do it wherever.
I don't know who this person is. I follow them, but I've never met him. But like they always have like sick ass stuff.
Yeah.
Do they do a magazine or something, or they?
I don't know. Maybe I've literally only met him once, and it was because he was taking my picture. I was at a Wing Wednesday over at the Trademark.
Oh yeah, for Daily City stuff.
No, not De La City. Was it? It may have been actually De La City.
Yeah, because he was doing it there.
That's right. He was doing it there for a minute. Maybe it was, yeah. But he was just there taking pictures. Like, hey, do you want one? And we just took the picture. And then I was like, where can I find the picture? And he was like, follow me. And then.
Hey, Daily City got shot.
Yeah, that's.
What the fuck?
I don't even. That's so horrible, dog.
That's crazy.
That makes me so scared because like Antonio is like one of the nicest people like
chill.
Ever. Yeah. Like I think that the kids were just like trying to like get some money.
I don't even know what happened.
I think it was a stray shot. It was at a party. I don't know all who was there. I don't know all the details. I'm not gonna like speak for Antonio when I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
All I've heard is that some kids ran into a party and just started shooting randomly. I don't think they were trying. Maybe they were. Don't know, Antonio, I'm sorry. But like, like he just randomly got shot and then he's
That's sad as shit. That's shit that happens back in my hometown.
Thank God he's safe, like knock on wood, like I hope he is like healthy and not tripping.
That's like shit I don't worry about here in the city, but like when I'm back up in Fresno, that's why I don't go to random spots that I don't need to be at, because that shit happens all the time over there. So
really, in Fresno?
Hell yeah, people.
I guess that's true. Yeah, it's a little
shooting
dirty
all
out
the
there.
time. It's like certain spots you just. I don't know.
I never think about
P's
that
and Q's all the time.
Yeah.
I never think about that. That's when that happened. I was like, it threw me off so much.
It's weird because I feel like that happens around me a lot, but it's never like, it's so not close in proximity that I'm like, well, it's not going to happen to me. But if it happened to Antonio, I feel like it could happen to me.
Yeah, you got to be ill and P's and Q's, but
that
like.
shit's scary.
Yeah, that shit's fucking, that shit wild. But yeah, so I was talking about that dude how do you pronounce the name? The one that does the pictures?
I don't know if he just goes by Lumped.
Lumped. I don't even know how to pronounce, but like I like that style, the way how
he does it. He does the stick and shoots for real. He just sticks in a SWAT, shoot, sticks in a SWAT, shoot. Just around the party. He's cool.
That's what's up.
That'd be fun. That's way too much work for me though.
It depends what type of photographer you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever done street photography?
I mean, my own street photography.
Like actually going out and down the street and just taking pictures of random people?
Oh, no, I never go up to a random person. Unless they ask, they're like, hey, can I be in the next shot? Like, I'll be like, yeah.
See, that's one thing I want to try to, like, get into, but I'm so scared
I'm way too scared to do that.
I hate taking pictures of people without them, like,
consenting.
knowing.
Yeah,
it's
like, creepy. I feel like it's a little weird sometimes, especially when you do it like of homeless people. It's always like,
well, yeah, you don't. That's just like an etiquette. Just don't do it with homeless people.
There's this girl I know who
unless it's like tasteful in a way where it's like you see something nice and cool, uplifting. But if you're just doing it because they're all fucked up and
it's fucked up,
sprawled out, like.
But no, yeah, as I was saying, there's like a girl that I know who works for, I don't know if it's the Chronicle or the Standard, but she works for one of these like newspapers out here. And in one of her highlight reels for this year for a picture she took, there's a picture of a homeless woman with a black eye. I was like, that's fucked up. That's not cool. Like,
Especially when there's no context to it.
yeah, I'm like, what the? I don't know. It just like rubbed me the wrong way completely.
Yeah, it's really. It's easy to take pictures of homeless people. Like it's.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm also like they do love it sometimes. Like whenever I'm like doing photography for like modeling, they'll always try and get in the back and be like, "Yo, take some pictures of me." Like, and it's like I'll like do it, but like I never want to put those out there. I feel weird about it. Like I don't know.
I definitely like I want to get into street photography because I want to be able to get out of my comfort zone and do things because I see street photography so sick because I've seen like different eras and how much it changes, and I was like, I want to capture this era that we're in now because we always seem like everything's infinite. So we see like we don't do it now because it's going to be there tomorrow,
but it really won't.
You know how much it changed from 2010 to like the early 2000s to 2010 to 2020. How much the clothing's changed.
The city itself,
just the demographics, everything is just changing.
There's a building
constantly.
that may be up right now that will be gone tomorrow. That you won't ever get a picture.
You just don't know.
Again.
So like I do want to get that, but I think I'm gonna start off with just getting back in people's head. I just want to get the clothing style and just like the
you
space.
You just get like a whole skitty-scape too. You can just go to Union Square and get like a bunch of people. That way, it's not like you're getting one person. You're getting like 50 people.
I've done it a couple times, but I always felt so weird because I don't like to use flash, but like I was doing it and my flash went off and I was like, oh, get out of here.
Yeah. No, I've definitely had that happen a few times.
It's
always the most awkward thing, especially when you're trying to like not let people know.
Happened in the bus for me one time.
Shit. Yeah.
I was doing it in the bus.
I think I've definitely.
I always take pictures like in the bus. And then it just went off, and I was like, "Fuck."
People get mad at shit like that too. Have you ever? I've taken some pictures like on BART before. Like, granted, it was during a busy time, so like I will admit that I was in the wrong for a bit of it. But like, I'm like taking pictures of like a model like on BART, like while there are people, and people are giving me the dirtiest looks. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like, and they're so pissed. And it's not like I'm getting them in there, but they're like, just the fact that they're around it, they're like.
Sometimes,
that's how
sometimes you just gotta say fuck it. There's this a photographer in New York City, I forget their name, but he literally just goes up to people and just put flash in their face. Like he takes pictures of like he'd be this close and be like, his photos are crazy though. Like people's faces are just like everyone's face is like what like the fuck.
Super off guard.
But like he talks about it because I was like at first I was hating on this person. I was like, dude, that's the stupidest way. Like I hate his style. And then he talks and he was like. He was like, he takes a lot of pictures of like homeless people stuff too. But he was like, I'm homeless. I was homeless. I was an addict. I've been in that world, and I want to highlight them to show them that this is like a normal face. Like I want to capture people in their. He's like, I want to capture people in their normal sense. I don't want them to be ready. I want them to be in their normal way. Like I don't want them to be posing or ready for the picture. So he's like, that's why. When he explained it, I was like, all right, this is a cool concept. But like now, motherfucker, be in people's faces and just like be flashing.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be
it's
a little
insane.
crazy.
Like it's pretty fucking. It's kind of funny, but it's like I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah, that's like what do you even call that? That's like a specific medium type of art. Like it's so abstract.
Yeah, like very fucking.
It's like
in your face shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
A line for me.
But like, I definitely want to. We'll get into it. But I was doing. I'm always like, oh, I don't have the right camera. I don't have the right gear. And then I did like an inventory of all the shit I have. I have like 18 different cameras, and I was just like, all right, maybe it's time to like either sell a couple or
18. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I'm just like, maybe it's time to like just actually go out and do it and stop fucking.
Either start using all of them.
Yeah, or get rid of some. Yeah, because
I'm
just like I used to have a lot more too, but
18.
I started giving a lot away.
I literally only have two, and one of them you gave to me.
Yeah. I'd be giving them to friends. I just like, hey, I was like, I enjoy it so much. I'm like, here, go and be creative with it and shit.
No, that's very.
I've been getting into Polaroids a lot. Like for Christmas, when I went back home, I took a lot of Polaroids. Problem is that Polaroids for me is really hard because if there's not a lot of light, it doesn't come out that great.
Yeah,
but sometimes
it's horrible sometimes.
But it's like a 101. It's like fucking sick. I want to make like a Polaroid like book of like.
Yeah, that'd be super fire. Damn, that's funny. I remember when you gave me that camera. So I'm just gonna bring it up. So the other day I was watching the interview you did with Jay Oceano and Dosa, and there was this really funny moment where I I think you were talking about like how does Jay like market himself, because it's not like he's a big company
Yeah.
slash neither am I, who am I to talk, but he was saying like it's all community driven, and he was all like shout out to people who understand the community, like Rebel Status and Jarvis, and then you were all like I saw you like do this little smirk, and then you were all like, Adam is actually a really great marketer. I don't know. I was just like, damn, that, gave me a little ego boost. In that
Nah,
moment.
it's real though. Like I
It
know.
was just cool to hear, But no, yeah, it felt good to like hear that like behind closed doors, and like that's why I felt like grateful about like you even giving me that camera. Like when you did give it to me, that it was like the day before probably you did that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like kind of. I don't know. It's good. I'm glad that we get to do this little podcast together.
Yeah, no, like
I mean?
I think I try to be as real. Like I don't try to be fake with people. Like I try to tell them how I feel, like emotion, and just like when you be fake with people, you never get anywhere. Like
That's
it's
true.
just,
That's very true.
there's a time and place for it, especially when it's an uncomfortable situation and you're just trying to get out of it. It's like but when you want to have genuine friendship with people, or just like when you want to have like I don't know, like when you're trying to have like something, when you're trying to create with other people, you got to be upfront and you got to be real with people.
Yeah,
because,
what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, you got to show like, you got to be able to do that in order to make things work. Because if not, it's like you're never gonna get shit done, and it just won't gel. Like it won't.
Yeah. But like looking at that on the flip side of the coin, like you saying that, like also like it means like a lot to people when they're not in a room and you have nothing to say but high things of them. You know what I mean? Like for like Jay, like with the puddles thing, like he's going crazy right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like if someone were to bring him up to me, like, and he wasn't in the room, I'd be like, he goes fucking insane. Like
his shit's sick.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like you saying that, like when I wasn't there, it feels good. Like, and I would want like everyone to feel like if we're working together, or like we're on like a peer-to-peer level and I fuck with you, like it's nice to hear that when I'm not around you're still like being cool.
One thing about the puddle is like that guy he's super cool. He gave me like one of his shirts and stuff, and he was just like
nice.
It was like the way he explained it, the calavera and everything, because I told him I had a tattoo of it and stuff, and he just like showed me, and he explained the reason why he had his like why he created it, and like his message and what he's trying to bring through it, and like his like logo and how he got it, of like how he like just created that type. And if you look more like how detailed it is, and it was just from like different waves and stuff, and you just put it together, and it's just like, okay, I get it on that personal level of like where someone's coming from. And I think when people get connected to something, they have a better understanding on what they're getting. And it's not just like a soulless connection to when you're buying stuff. Yeah. Especially when you're just like, when people buy like Nikes, you're just buying Nikes. Like what is the connection you have with the Nike? You're pretty much connected to Nike because most high profile athletes have that brand.
But some people definitely still athletes, but some people do the just do it just gets me, bro, like or like whatever the message.
Their marketing is good too though.
Yeah.
The marketing
you saying that definitely does mean a lot. It puts more value into like something when you understand where it's coming from, rather than it just being like Nike or Adidas or fucking Burt or whoever the fuck.
Like I really like Nike because of like back in the day when the skateboarders had Nike and they were promoting a lot of
SBs,
that was like a big thing for me.
That was huge. And
but also like East Bay magazine, like that was like my favorite sports. I was always look through it because I was like, that's when I was pick my cleats and stuff like that. They're going out of business next year. They're done.
Are they? Damn.
I don't know if you ever.
I never even heard of them.
So East Bay was like a really cool magazine that had like everything, and I would go in there and I was always looking like this. I would order like through that magazine of batting stuff. Yeah, it was like sports stuff.
Okay.
So like I would order like batting gloves, like I would order my because my school I went to were sponsored by Nike, so we're able to order through the Nike rep through the magazine or whatever.
Okay,
so it was pretty cool.
That's
so that was
fire.
Like, but I was sad because I heard it was fucking ending.
It's ending, yeah.
But it's like shit, shit comes and goes. But
nothing is forever.
What's going up right now is SZA. She's like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, she'll last forever. Yeah, 2 weeks. I don't think any other artist or any other like woman artist has that besides Beyonce for her last album. Not her last album, but for the self-titled album, Beyonce. Which is insane to think about. SZA apparently says that's her last album, and
She's done?
that's what she says. And honestly, I kind of almost believe it. She's known to be a chronic liar, but I could believe it by her output of music. And I would be kind of okay with it because she has what, like 3 really solid projects. So it's like
I see a lot of hate of her online of like when her performances live, but every time I've seen her live, she's been great.
Yeah, I've seen
every time
her
I've seen her live, she's been fucking great. Like her voice is amazing. Yeah. Her performances are always great. I just saw her at Outside Lands in the Golden Gate Park, and she killed it. I mean, she was great. So I don't know. A lot of hate comes. See, that I don't want to be that type of hater. Like I just want to. If I want to hate about small things, I don't want to hate shit like that because I feel. You know, what people do like on her level, not a lot of people do
scrutiny.
That.
Yeah, like a lot of people definitely don't like her for whatever reason.
People think they could do what other people can do, like on her level, but try to perform in front of thousands of people at a high level. It's like that shit is probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah, it's like
they're professionals.
Yeah, it's literally like in the NBA or like soccer or whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like we put them on a different pedestal, but like these, I don't know, voices probably get strained all the time. You probably need to eat really well. You probably need to conserve your voice. You probably need to like not smoke.
Well, like when you actually go out and try to do things, you realize what you can and cannot do, or what you actually want and don't want. I tried stand up this year for the first time, doing an open mic.
Did you really?
Yeah, because do you know who Wally is?
Wally.
Well, he's a comedian, Hippolito, I think his name is. But he's a comedian out of San Francisco, and I did a podcast with him before, and he was a really cool guy, and he had like his own open mic place in South City at some sports bar.
And you went? You did?
Yeah, I went, and he kept trying to get me to go up. And then I was like, fuck it, all right, I'll do it. And I went up. Like, one person laughed.
Yeah.
I was just like...
I think that's how it's supposed to go, though, when you're first starting.
But that made me never want to do
anything.
That made me never want to do it again. I was like, I don't know if I could ever do this again.
It's a tough... Comedy is...
It's fucking rough.
That's really hard.
I was like, at least I tried it. You know?
Yeah,
at least I did it once.
One try is kind of tough. I don't know.
Maybe if I get the courage to do it again, but...
Yeah, I'm like, there are people who like want to be comedians that have been doing it for like 5-10 years.
It takes a long time.
And they're either just starting to get good or, you know what I mean?
It takes a long time for comedy for people to break through. And it's like, I don't know if I want to devote like 10 years of trying to do that.
I mean, we're going to do some 10 years of something. Shit. That's how I feel personally. Like, I get you. Like, yeah, I don't know if I'd have the...
Would you ever do it? Go up and...
That one's too tough for me. Comedy? No. I'd end up saying something really stupid that I know I'm regretting, probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Something racist? No.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing. I'd say something extremely fucked up and racist.
I heard a fucking... one of a family members said something hella racist over Christmas, and it caught me off guard. I was like,
what the
I've never...
fuck?
Heard someone be that overtly like racist in my life. Like I was like, what the fuck did you say? Like what? Like
that shit is so many.
And then my brother was like, did they fucking just say that?
Did they just fucking? Everyone's checking.
I was like, yeah, they just. What? I was like, what the fuck?
That's too many.
I was like, oh shit.
No, yeah, see,
it was just like awkward, but I was
awkward energy.
Yeah, man, I was like, that's why I was like, when I'm done with family, I'm down to go home. Like I'm just
for real.
When I'm done, I'm done. I was like, I don't want to be around this shit.
No, yeah. I think my parents or not my parents, but my family in general is not really. It's not that bad, I would say. I mean, I don't know what they said, but my parents don't really say that much fucked up shit. My dad is also like a brown dude, so if anything, he just says fucked up shit to white people. So
that's funny.
So it's a little bit more like, okay, we can laugh about this. Like at least everyone here.
Is your dad really brown?
No, he's super light-skinned too. Yeah, so it's like people looking at him like, aren't you like Mexican? Like, aren't you like yeah. It's definitely a weird dynamic.
Have you ever went back to the homeland?
No, I want to. I really want to. I kind of want to learn how to speak Samoan a little bit more.
Has your dad been back?
I think he's been before, but I don't think he's been in a long time. Like,
you should definitely try to go see.
Yeah, I definitely want to. We have family that stays there apparently. Like, so I'm like, we could definitely stay there for the freezy, you know? Like, I think it's just like, I don't know, like, Polynesian culture is really, they're really specific about how they do things. You know what I mean? Like there's specific like dinners, like certain roles that you kind of have to fill when you're there. Like so like I'd rather be like up on Pivy and be able to talk to everyone and talk shit back rather than like like
Yeah.
not fucking be able to say
Would
anything.
you ever get like your Polynesian tattoos or anything like that, or?
Maybe I've like thought about it, but I feel like it looked kind of weird on me. There is like a significant tattoo that I'd want to get though. It's called like a man of the house tattoo, and it's like you basically just get like shorts on your on your body, but they're in like Polynesian, and you have to do it like tatau. So like they do the bone and like hit you with
that
it.
shit's gonna be painful.
Yeah, but like I don't know how I feel about it, and also like I wouldn't be able to do it until like either my father passed away or like I was able to start taking care of my father. Like that's the only circumstance that you're really supposed to get that.
You can only get it when you. Oh, when
it's like the man of the house tattoo. So it's like when you become.
Does your dad have it?
No, he's super against tattoos. He like when he found out about like the whole like tradition behind it, he was kind of like, "Fuck this is stupid." So, but I want to do it just because I already have so many. Why would I not get like at least one?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted to get like now. I've been wanting to get like a traditional Mexican tattoo, but like I don't even know what traditional Mexican because like there's so many different like cultures within Mexico, and it's like kind of
Aztec, Mayan.
There's all kinds, and I'm just like, what could I get that's actually something that, like, where my family comes from, that it's something that I like, that's part of actually my culture, because like my family is from Tepic, which is like they have their own native population there, and they're more coastal mountain people, and they have their own like their own stuff, and they have their own language and everything, and it's like, should I get that or should I get something Mayan? But I'm not Mayan, I'm not from the Yucatan. Like I'm not like, I don't like, we're all different. Like Mexico is really different when you go around.
Like you got to go with what you like resonate with, though. You know what I mean?
I really want to get that, but when I always tell people when I went to Mexico, I realized like right away, like, oh, I'm not Mexican. Like,
what do you mean? What do you mean you're Mexican?
Like I'm Mexican descent, like ethnicity is Mexican, but like when you go there, they let you know right away, like you're American.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah, but that doesn't take away from.
But like it definitely made me feel like, oh, okay, yeah, I had a better understanding and appreciation for where I'm from.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, I was like, I felt like an outsider. Like you go there right away and you feel like,
I think that's how you're always gonna feel as an
I'm
American,
not, I'm not from here. Like I'm not from here.
Yeah,
like we might look alike, but we don't.
Dang,
we don't speak the same language. We have different cultures.
100%.
And it's like I felt when I went to Mexico, I felt more American, because when I felt here, I felt like lost. I felt like I don't feel, I'm Mexican American. I don't know. I felt like I don't fit in. And then when I went to Mexico, I was like, all right, I'm American. Like I just you just feel it, it right away. And I was just like.
That's really funny. I mean, it's funny that you say that. I've had a conversation with this about someone just recently.
I don't know.
It's like we all like America, they even say like is the quote unquote melting pot, because all these different like cultures come here. But it's like people say it's a good thing, but at the same time it's kind of a really sad thing, because it's like a lot of us, like even we, like me as a Samoan, a white American, you as a Mexican American,
you lose your culture.
You lose everything. You just become American. So like you just breaking down to these little things. And for us, I feel like that's like something that like we still like kind of like bond in. Like I look at other Polynesian Americans and I'm like, oh, okay, we bond over being Polynesian American. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. When I'm here, I'm like, I'm hella Mexican, but when I go back, I'm not.
You're not. And that's how I feel when I'm around a bunch of people who have like been born and raised on the island. I'm like, oh, you guys are Samoan.
Yeah, they're like,
oh, like
you're the real.
Yeah, you're the real deal. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people get like weirded out or scared at that, like because they feel like they're losing their culture. But it's like, I agree, and it's very sad, but it's also like, I don't know. So
another thing too is like a lot of Mexican people we have native,
roots.
We have native roots, we have native blood. Like we're
California,
like
there's
all
throughout California.
There was all natives in Mexico before it got conquered over, and then the blood got mixed with with Spanish and whatnot and stuff like that. But like a lot of Mexican people don't say they're native. It's got taken away. It's like it was not seen as like as Native people. And I remember having this person that was Native that was like,
Gang.
but what I was trying to say was I had this individual, this a really cool dude that was a Native American that was from Minnesota. He's from actually an urban reservation, which is
Rare.
There's not a lot of like urban reservations, and he was actually from the area where George Floyd was murdered and the whole police burned down and everything. He was like from that area, so it was him. I talked to him about that situation, and he was saying that he was there that time. They're like watching it burn from like an area away, and it was really crazy. But anyways, he was telling me, because I was like, I don't feel, Native. I feel like I can't really say that I'm, Native or indigenous. But he was like, don't let anyone ever take that away from you. You are indigenous. You are Native. You do have that blood in you. Like, you got to be able to claim that, and you got to be able to allow yourself, don't ever let anyone take that away from you. And that's like kind of resonated with me and made me want to like learn more about the roots of my family, where we came from, the indigenous side and stuff like that. And it's like that history got lost. And it's like I lost so much being here, the culture, the language and all that stuff, that I don't ever want to get lost too. And so I want to be able to go back and see and learn it. And so
that's super real. I think that is definitely, something that happens today. Like we were saying, like, that's just like a colonization thing, like even like now, like we say that everything's all over, but like we have to deal with all the effects, like you're like, I don't know what generation like American you are, but like I'm second
first
generation.
from my dad and then third from my mom.
I'm third generation from my dad, and then I don't even know on my mom's side because that, they done colonized a long time ago. But that's what I'm saying is like you should be able to, definitely, you should be able to like feel and like validate what you are as like a real thing and like work on, what that means for you, like what that means for your history or your bloodline or whatever, like there's a lot to be learned in those things, and there's a lot to be proud of too. Like don't let someone like be like, oh no, you're just American, you know what I mean? Like sure, you're American, but you're also fucking a native, you have the native blood, you get the Mexican native blood,
But there's also like, it's hard for me as well because I used to work in like a Native American like treatment, area, and I've been around a lot of Native American people and meeting people from all over the place, and there'll be people that they'll be so indigenous, so American, like Native American down and everything, and it turns out they're only like 2%, and it's like they're fucking too, they're full blown like in it, and you realize like they're barely, well, I could say like blood, barely like name, but it's like that's still who they are.
That's their stake,
that's their identity, and it's
that's
like
what they've done their whole thing.
I feel like someone that like I don't know, I've never done like the ancestry thing, and in Mexico they never really kept up with the native like population how they did here in the States, and so like if I ever do it, like I don't know, I think it will be more than 2%. I think it would be higher. I don't know, but I don't know if that makes me more indigenous than anyone else.
No, I'm not saying that it makes you more indigenous than anyone. I don't think that's what he was trying to say either, though. I think he's just saying like there's something to be proud and something to remember about like your bloodline. Just period. Just that. You know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily be like, oh, I'm super native, like, and you have to like show it to everyone. But like, if someone asks
people
you,
know the shit. I mean, I know those type of people.
no, me too. Like, I get that all the fucking time with random people, like that are like, oh, you have to show off more, like blah blah blah. And it's like, I'm me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of like where I come from and the people that came before me, and that's all I need to say about it.
Do you know anyone that doesn't consider like you not poly because you don't have like poly like tattoos, or if because
maybe not poly tattoos, but because of how I look. That happens all the time. That happens everywhere. That's like a huge thing, and that's fine. You're entitled to feel that way. But I'm entitled to, be like, well, like, like I come from this. I see it. I see it in my family. I see it like in the community that my family is from. Like, so you can't take that away from me. Like, and that's all I need. That makes me comfortable enough in my, body.
That's the thing. Just be comfortable in who you are and help other people. Fucking uplift other communities. People want to talk about like things that like parts of the problems and problem with like, what's going on with Native people in this country, what's going on with, different groups that are living in poverty, but without actually trying to do anything. And for me, I hated that, and I didn't ever want to talk. That's why I worked with the Native American population. That's why I worked at a health clinic that was made for predominantly black people, because they were underserved in that community. I worked at Marin, like a health center in Marin City, which was like, it was a fucked up, like you could tell it's a very racial like divide and fucked up area, but I went to go work because I wanted to help and do that. And like, I think more people need to realize, instead of talking about shit, go do something. Go volunteer at a food bank. Go fucking get in the community, get active.
Yeah, definitely. And do it in like any way that you can do it too. It's not like you need, I feel like people feel
you have to work and shit.
Yeah, people feel like they have to, because you say this, they have to be in like a clinic and help people with nothing they know anything about. And they're like, hey, you don't need to do that. Like, you hand out a water bottle to people.
Yeah,
like,
just go work in get involved in the community.
Yeah,
that would be
just give
best
back
thing.
a little. That's the best way. I feel like our parents, maybe not our parents, but do you ever have like that generation where they're like, when I was growing up, we all used to know our neighbors and blah, 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 blah.
Definitely, all the time.
And it's like, well, it's your fault that it's not like this anymore, because you don't talk to anyone. Like, you have to get out and talk to people. Like, the only reason I know my neighbors is because I went out and said, what's up,
I don't even know my neighbors right now, honestly.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to do that, but you at least know, like, your community of people around in San Francisco, where it's like, you run into someone that you're going to be like, oh, hey, like, if they're struggling, you might see them, you might give them something,
Definitely. What I mean? I think that responsibility of that we all hold to the community is that we have to be able to look out for those that may be most vulnerable.
Can't look out for themselves right now. Yeah.
The strength of the community is how we treat the ones on the bottom. If we don't treat them with dignity and respect and uplift them, then we're no better than anyone else.
That's very real. Yeah,
that's how life should be. But hopefully everyone has a good, happy New Year. Be safe out there.
Don't get bummed out by life.
Yeah, we'll put some more shit out, and hopefully we bring it this coming year.
Who are we? Are we gonna see anyone next week? Are we talking about anyone that we're about to see?
Oh, we're gonna drop the episode with
Gene. Yeah, but Gene already out.
Gene, we'll put that out next week.
We'll have to talk to the host with the most still. We have to double back on him. And I haven't set up a date yet, but I started talking to this guy, LOE Gene.
Okay.
So we may be talking to him very soon.
Well, I don't know what our guests we're gonna have, but we'll have some shit. We'll have a lineup for
guests.
Get it going.
If you want to be a guest, maybe shoot us a DM. Yeah, make our job easy.
Reach out.